Hello Scorpio and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone, so do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. We're going to start for Scorpio looking at overall energy for your past, present, and future energy through oracle cards, and then we'll dive deeper into the story with tarot as we progress. All right, Scorpio. Let's start by looking at the overall energy for your recent past. Overall energy for Scorpio's recent past, please. What do you need to release? You have surrender to the divine, and the answers you need are coming. This what do you need to release card gives me immediately this indication that there's something blocking your abundance, something blocking the love that you deserve, the finances that you deserve, the success that you deserve. It could be one of those areas, or it could be referring to all of those areas collectively. The answers you need are coming card can give this indication that you're feeling a little bit lost. It's like maybe you know something's off, or you know something needs to change, but you're having a hard time figuring out exactly what that is, or exactly what steps or what path to take. The surrender to the divine card is definitely an energy of, letting go. Sometimes when we try to control a situation too much, we actually end up getting in our own way. So that might actually be what you're needing to release is control. But that can appear and manifest in so many different ways. So we'll get more of what this is really talking about as we progress with the reading. But let's look, Scorpio, at your current energy. So if you have a lot of questions right now, remember, we're just looking at overall energy first. What does Scorpio need to know regarding their current energy? Adjustments are required. And then you have it's time to release negativity on the bottom here, but it didn't come out, so I'm not taking it. Your commitment is being tested. Okay, I don't look at this as the universe actually putting you through a test, but I do feel like this is about, in some way, shape, or form, really committing to yourself and what is best for you on your journey. And I feel like that might require you to make decisions that feel really uncomfortable for you, because even though it might be putting yourself first, it might be, walking away from something that you had a lot of hope for, or, being willing to really put yourself out there in a way that feels really uncomfortable. Either way, I feel like the universe is trying to move you away from something that is very misaligned, and whatever that misalignment is, it is the biggest thing holding you back from alignment with what it is that you ultimately desire in the first place. The love that you desire, the abundance you desire, whatever it is that, is coming to mind for you. So I do feel like there's a need for some sort of redirection here. It doesn't necessarily mean abandoning a path altogether. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a lot of different things. It could just be one thing that is needing your attention. But let's see what you've got here. In this future energy, Scorpio, what does Scorpio need to know moving forward? It's like something that I feel like needs to change, something that it's like something's got to give, and that that's the case. Maybe there's a lot of fear in association with it, or the unknown is really scary or is really overwhelming. Okay, you have the answers you need are coming again. You have a time to give rather than take. Hold your vision. Okay, with it's time to release negativity. So if you have some vision for your life, whether it is the family, the relationship, the success, whatever aspect of your life that you have some sort of vision in, you can still very much have these things that you desire. However, it feels like it's almost like the puzzle that you're looking to put together, you're trying to use pieces that don't fit into that puzzle. That's the best way I can describe it. And it feels like it's like trying to force something to be something that it's not, or trying to force something. It's like trying to force a round peg into a square hole. Like I keep getting these different imageries where it's like you have this idea of what you want, this picture, this overall vision. But it's like what you're trying to force into this vision doesn't actually align with the vision itself. So I don't necessarily know what this is talking about. I do very much feel as if the universe is trying to give you a lot of hope in this reading, trying to push you to see that, like, if you are scared to make some sort of a change, that it could end up being the best thing for you. Another thing that I'm really saying is there's a lot of purple. Like, these cards are purple, these cards are purple, this card, all of these. This one's a little bit more blue, but this one has purple in it. Like, all of these cards are very purple, and, like, not all these cards are purple like that, So I don't know exactly, purple kind of does align with that divine chakra, which can be all about divine guidance. Maybe purple is just to help you. Maybe you're wearing a purple shirt right now, or purple is your color in some way, and this is just kind of adding to the resonance of this reading. Either way, though, aside from that, I definitely feel like the universe is really pushing you to either make a decision or to find a path forward that's different than the one that you're on in some way. It doesn't mean that you're on the wrong path altogether, but I definitely feel, like you have right here, adjustments are required. And you're on the right path for you regardless, but I do very much feel like the universe is saying if you want this vision, which obviously you do, there's something in the way that's blocking it. But this is an overall theme for the reading, overall focus, overall message, whatever it is that really resonates with you, whatever wording. But what does Scorpio need to know regarding this reading? Okay, there's surrender again. So it's the second time we're seeing surrender. And then you have visionary. We're seeing vision and surrender. Both of these cards came through. And then rejoicing. So it's interesting because it's like if you surrender to some sort of adjustment, some sort of redirection, some sort of, I don't know if it's a loss. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is yet. We'll see when we dive into tarot. You have so much to look forward to on the other side of this. Now, that's incredibly difficult, right? Because sometimes we hold on to something for so long and we try to make it work and we put our all into it. And, when it doesn't end up becoming what it is that we desire, it can feel like a waste of time. It can feel like we've wasted our time, our energy, our life. But nothing is ever a waste of time if it's led you to choosing better for yourself. If it's led you to the growth that you've acquired, if it's led you to becoming the person that you are right now. So don't look at whatever this is talking about as something that has been a waste of time, because I actually feel like it's been a very important stepping stone for you to get to where you're trying to go. Life, we're here on this earth school to grow, to heal, to evolve, to make healthier choices in each and every moment. And that's going to come with sometimes making a wrong decision or taking a wrong turn or having to let go of things that we really thought were right for us but ended up not being. And that's really, really hard to do, but it also is very freeing, because what that allows us to do is to open ourselves up to more alignment, letting go of anything that isn't aligning with your heart, with your soul, with your mind, with your body, with your spirit. It's going to open you up to the things that are truly, truly meant for you, which is going to provide you with more fulfillment, more abundance, more just like overall good, positive energy. So I feel like you have more to look forward to than you think. But I know that none of this is easy, especially because I don't even necessarily really know what this is talking about. So let's dive in a little bit deeper. Let's look, Scorpio, at this recent past energy. What has Scorpio been dealing with in their recent past? Justice in reverse. See, this just gives this energy of something that isn't working. Doesn't align with what you deserve. So Justice in reverse, 6 of Cups with the Devil, but there's so much familiarity. So stuck in a familiar pattern, stuck in a pattern that maybe has followed you since childhood or for most of your adult life. And I feel like, one of the things that we don't realize is that our brain is very much a pattern, and it prefers to repeat the same exact things over and over, the same patterns, the same habits, the same experiences. And even if those experiences don't really align with what it is that we truly deserve, what it is that we truly desire, on a subconscious level, we will be more drawn to the familiarity of certain patterns or experiences because our brain likes that predictability. Okay. So there's this, it's interesting because it's like an unstable stability. An unstable stability. That's what I heard. It's like whatever this is, I feel like there's a lot of chaos associated with it. It adds, more chaos to your life, yet the stability comes from the familiarity. So there is some sort of cycle that is attached to whatever this is talking about, whether it's a relationship, a path, a job, a career. And it's interesting because whatever this is, it's very unfulfilling. It's not what it is that you were desiring, but I feel like there's a hope of it turning into something different. And I feel like that hope of it potentially being different is the biggest thing that keeps you hanging on here, especially because the devil, the devil is, it can really speak of attachment and attaching ourselves to an idea of what something could be, a certain outcome that we might have in mind. And even though, so that's what, going back to what I said, like you have this vision, this outcome that you desire, but it's like the path that you're taking isn't the path that's going to get you to that outcome. And I feel like that's the biggest thing that you're needing to realize, because it's like the pieces aren't falling into place. Like something is not working here, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much energy or effort you put into it. And I feel like you have put a lot into it too. And sometimes, when we put a lot into something and it doesn't work out, we start to doubt ourselves and we go, well, maybe that means that I can't have it. Maybe it means that it's not possible. Maybe it means that I'll never get there. But it's not that what you want isn't possible. You have that with Hold Your Vision. It's that what you are clinging to bring that vision to life, the current path that you're on to create that vision, that's what's a little off here. And so I do feel like there's a lot of fear with this certain path or situation coming to an end or coming to a close, the certain cycle. But I feel like on the other side of that cycle is more possibility than you might currently be aware of. So this is what you have been dealing with, right? This is past energy here, trying to make something work, giving something all you've got, and it just not coming to fruition here. So let's see what your current energy holds. You have your commitment is being tested with adjustments are required, because anybody's going to eventually get completely exhausted with this energy. Eventually your soul's going to get to a place where it goes, I can't do this anymore. I don't have what it takes to keep, putting all of this effort in and not experiencing what it is that I deserve. Current energy for Scorpio. The 6 of Swords upright. You're being asked to move forward, to move on. The 6 of Swords is all about changing, like relocating your energy, whether that is relocating it, from certain people to new people, from a certain like literal place to a new place, like actually moving, a new house, like I said, new relationships, new job. Like this is about relocating, moving on from something that isn't serving you and towards something new. But with the 7 of Swords here, There's so much that would be out of your control regarding making some sort of a decision, because here's the thing. You keep getting triggered. I feel like certain things keep happening to frustrate you or make you angry, or essentially certain things keep happening to get you to move, to get you to make a move. Because when we're in a certain place and things just keep coming up, like it's just one thing after another, and that we're not able to find peace, and no matter how hard we try, we can't seem to settle in. That is the universe trying to tell you this is not meant for you. There is something better. Because anything that takes away from your peace more than it complements or adds to it, because nothing can be the source of our peace, but certain things should definitely add to or complement our peace, is usually a sign of misalignment. But sometimes we're so afraid to let go because we don't know if anything better will ever take its place. We're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of the second guessing that comes with, well, what if this is as good as it ever gets? Or what if the potential that I see in this is as good as it ever gets? And what if me moving forward or letting go of this is me missing out on some sort of an opportunity for me to have what it is that I desire? And that is where it is so important to remember that what is meant for you will never, ever pass you. And the universe is giving you so many signs and so many messages to try to get you to see that where you've been and what you've been essentially settling for. Because with the Justice in reverse, like, this is not aligned with your worth. This is not aligned. This is an unfair situation. It feels like the universe is trying to get you to see that you are deserving of more, that you are worthy of more, that you are capable of more. And it's doing that through triggering you over and over again to get you to essentially say, I can't do this anymore. Because change is really hard and really scary for any human being. But the universe will never let us settle where we are not meant to settle, when we are deserving and worthy of more. So when we're trying to settle and we're trying to force something to become what it is that, we want it to be, but yet settling for what it is, the universe will consistently try to get you to make healthier choices for you or better decisions for you. And I feel like that's what you have when it comes to your commitment is being tested. The universe is asking you to stand up for your worth and what you deserve, maybe even more than you ever really have. To really trust in the truth that you are deserving of all that you desire. And if something is not aligning with that, that isn't a sign that you can't have what it is that you deserve and desire. That is a sign that something is not capable of being what it is that you deserve and desire. But a lot of people are really afraid, again, to make the decision to walk away from something that isn't serving them because of the unknown. And that is completely natural and completely normal. Like I said, our brains are wired for that predictability. We, on some level, actually prefer a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. So we might have this idea of what we want our life to be, but we might be so used to experiencing a certain level of relationship or a certain level of abundance or a certain level of success that on some level, we might actually choose less than what we deserve because we're so used to it, even though the vision that we hold for our life, for our love, for our abundance and our fulfillment might be much greater. But if we don't align our decisions with choosing more, with choosing to believe that more is possible for us, we will consistently experience less. And that's where your control lies, because you don't have control over the people around you. You don't have control over what happens to you, but you do have control over how you respond. You have control over how you show up. You have control over deciding to say no to anything that doesn't truly fully align with what it is that you deserve and desire. And that is something that I talk to my clients a lot about, is letting them know that, like, you have the power to attract the life that you deserve, but it comes down to your ability and courage to say no to anything that doesn't fully align with your worth and with your desires. And that's the hard part, because we're afraid if we say no to something, nothing better will ever come along and we're never going to have what it is that we deserve and desire. What does Scorpio need to know moving forward? Should they choose to move forward from this, to release this from their life, whatever this is talking about, okay. King of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and Ten of Pentacles. So Oh no, this is the King of Swords in reverse. Because the King of Swords in reverse is all about a test of faith to me. Because the King of Swords upright is my second favorite card in tarot, second to the Eight of Swords in reverse. The King of Swords upright, the reason I like it so much is it's all about equanimity. It's about, really truly understanding that your life is a reflection of how mentally strong you can be in the face of doubt. And it's not saying that if you're experiencing doubt that means that you're not strong enough. But, the more that we choose to lean on faith, and then we choose to lean on believing that the life that we deserve and desire is possible, and that our actions reflect that, the more we create it, especially, and not just but especially when we're in the face of doubt. So understanding that there is always going to be doubt. There's always going to be fear. There's always going to be reasons to second guess. There are always going to be ways in which you can fear failure, or you can fear not having what it is that you deserve and desire. But it's not about not having doubt. It's not about not having fear or not experiencing it. It's about choosing to show up for the life that you deserve and desire despite the fear, despite the doubt, despite the second guessing, despite the hard decisions that might come with choosing faith over fear. So this to me is the universe saying, if you're willing to invest in the life that you deserve, you will create it. This 10 of Pentacles is available for you. It's a very, very abundant energy. But the 7 of Pentacles is all about commitment. It's about committing to you and what it would take for you to decide to say, I am deserving of more. I am worth more, and I'm done settling for less. Because choosing to not settle for less is the number one step in receiving more. Because if you accept less, you are telling the universe, this is all that I deserve. This is all that I'm capable of receiving. And the universe provides exactly as you affirm. So if you're affirming, I deserve less, the universe will continue to provide you with less. And then you get frustrated. I mean, we all do it, but we get frustrated because we're like, well, why can't I receive more? And the universe is saying, well, you're settling for less. I thought this is what you wanted because this is what you're accepting. So sometimes we have to have that hard conversation with ourselves, and we have to, and trust me, I am there right beside you guys talking about these things with myself every single day, okay? But we have to sit there and we have to have these hard conversations with us that say, am I truly showing up for the life that I deserve in the absolute best way that I can? Or am I accepting less out of fear that I can't have more? Because when you're very honest with yourself about that, that's where you start to find you have more control than you think. And a lot of it is about choosing to say no to what isn't serving you. And I think that that's what this energy is about. If you are willing to commit to the belief that you are capable of all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire, you will create them. But if you are have this habit of accepting less than what you deserve, or settling, or holding on to maybe unhealthy habits or patterns, you are actively keeping yourself from the life that you deserve. It doesn't mean that there aren't things in your way and that it's your fault that things are the way that they are. We all, unhealthy patterns and unhealthy behaviors are protection mechanisms. They're the parts of us that we have built to literally keep us alive. So that part of you isn't to be shamed. It's not to be put down. It's not to be looked at as an enemy. It's to be looked at with love, and to understand that the reason that we stay in places that don't serve us is because we are just trying to get by. But breaking out of survival mode is about recognizing that you are not here just to get by. You are also here to live, to experience all of the wonderful things that this life has to offer, such as love and abundance and fulfillment. And if you are someone who has not been able to experience those things on your path, please do not look at your future and what's possible for you through the lens of your past, because your past is not a limit of your future unless you decide that it is. If you decide that what you've experienced to this point is as good as it can get, then nothing will ever be better. But if you start to commit to the belief and the actions associated with the belief that things can be better and that you can have the life that you deserve and desire, you absolutely will create it. Okay. I'm going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive deeper into these messages, looking at what you need to do right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. So focusing on some tangible advice. And then I've got an advice card to pull from your spiritual team at the very end. Thank you so much, Scorpio, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. Bye, Scorpio.